ollaan täällä Pielisen rannalla ja ollaan nautittu Neljän tuulen leiristä. Täällä on ollut vieraina perusta, Cuero-intiaanien parantaja kautta shamaani Don Alejandro, ja tässä parina kolmena iltana, kun on toimittu ja seurattu erilaisia seremonioita ja pyhiä rituaaleja, ja olen myös niitä itse päässyt ihmisille tarjoamaan, niin on ollut silmiinpistävää se, miten oikeastaan puhutaan samoista asioista. Oltiin sitten millä puolella planeettaa hyvänsä. Tämä ei tietysti varmaan ketään sinänsä niin kuin yllätä, että näissä universaalisissa kysymyksissä ja ihmisen elämään ja kuolemaan ja luontoon liittyvissä keskeisissä kysymyksissä, niin ihmiset kaikkialla on päätynyt niin kuin havaitsemaan samoja asioita ja samoja lainalaisuuksia ja päätyneet samankaltaisiin eettisiin ratkaisuihin ja niin edespäin.
Henki mulla on suussa suuri. Mahti panne kasvavessa. Vatsassa varat väkevät. Jaloissa vetretä voimaa.
Mikä on meillä ja sitten vaikkapa Perun alkuperäiskansoilla, vaikkapa just Cuero-intiaanille yhteistä, niin on se, että maailman rakenne ajatellaan kolmikerroksiseksi. On ylinen ja sitten on tämän ilmainen ja sitten on alinen. Heillä on ihan sama jako, ja niin on kyllä todella monella muullakin kansalla ympäri maailmaa. Sitten nämä tällaiset eläinhahmoiset jumaluudet on myöskin samankaltaisia, tämmöiset eläinhahmoiset henkiolennot. Kun meillä varsinkin näiden vanhimpien myyttikerrostumien perusteella niin voidaan ajatella, että ukko Ilmarinen onkin kokko Ilmarinen, eli Ilmarisen tämmöinen alkuperäinen olemus tai hahmo on kotka. Ja kokkohan se synnyttää sitten ensimmäisen tuleenkin ja kotka liitetään tuleen, niin Ilmarinen on tämmöinen ylisen ja taivaan hallitsija ja luoja Jumala. Hän on tehnyt sen kirjokannen valmiiksi, ja sitten kokkolinnun kynsistä se ensimmäinen kipuna tulikin sitten tippuu taivosesta alas tähän meidän maailmaan, ja Ilmarinen hallitsee näitä säitä ja sateita ja tämän tyyppisiä asioita, eli aika maskuliininen hahmo tuolla ylhäällä. Ja sitten vastaavasti alhaalla on maaemo eli mannutar tai mannun eukko, mämmelöinen, joka sitten, nämä molemmat vastaa myöskin niin kuin Cuero-intiaanien käsityksiä siinä mielessä, että heillä on Pachamama, eli tällainen äitimaa. Ja melkeinpä ihan samoilla käsittelysanoilla niin voidaan keskustella sitten hänestäkin, kun puhutaan äitimaasta tai maaemosta, niin ihan sama sanahan siinä oikeastaan on kyseessä. Ja heillä on sitten tämä kondori, kotka, ja meillä sitten kotka. Ja sekin niin kuin tuntui hirveän tutulta, että oikeastaan pitkin näitä hienoja päiviä ja iltoja, niin ollut hyvin kodikas olo, että vaikka tässä on sitten osallistuttu semmoisiin rituaaleihin, mitkä on kehittynyt ja kasvanut siihen nykyiseen muotoonsa ihan toisella puolella maapalloa, niin ihan kuin olisi kotipihallansa hommia tehnyt ja seurannut niitä asioita. Että se on niin kuin miellyttävää nähdä, miten ihmisyys on samaa kaikkialla ja miten luonto on samaa kaikkialla ja miten henget on samaa kaikkialla.
Kuulen kuinka Koli laulaa laulua vuosituhansien. Kuulen kuinka kuilu muistaa viisauden muinaisen.
Vuoren henki, auta meitä muistamaan
Siunattu pyhä maa, Vuoren henki, Vuoren henki. Pitäjät ja shamanit kulkevat voimasi.
So my connection with the Four Winds goes back a long time, and how it is that my destiny had me come to Finland in the first time in 1989, and I had 15, 20 years before that, I had been sent to the Hopi. And grandmother later stated, in the Hopi way, there are those who are looking for something and those who are sent for a purpose. Eventually, I became the key person who opened the doors at the UN for the Hopi prophecy to be told. And they've been waiting all those almost 60 years then, after the atomic bomb, to tell their prophecy to the white brother, because they had unleashed the forces of destruction upon the earth. Grandmother had received an invitation from Raisa Gorbachev to come to USSR, and perestroika was just starting then, and they were going to have grandmothers for peace, to gather the grandmothers. Grandmother would not travel without me. I became her companion. I had been adopted legally by her, so I could go to the UN and then have official Hopi papers that I could speak for the traditional Hopi there. So that's how I came to Finland the very first time. And Teemu Kasila knew grandmother from before. And then he began to invite me to come back to various conferences and what have you. And that's how this momentum began. And then we decided in 96, based upon some of these Hopi tenets of how to live in a good way. And of course, they're all echoed all through all the different indigenous traditions. So I'm the one that has stayed constant. I became grandpa to the Four Winds. And this family of mine is huge over here. There's such great joy for me to watch and see how this community evolves. We're near 28 now, and it's a time of maturing. We all begin as creepy crawlies, and we have to learn to what's the next level of consciousness, the next level of responsibility, and the gathering, the weaving of all these decades. The different traditions who have shown up here. All these people come to contribute in some way.
Kuna kiip keseng soak panay guna. Ima bakmichi apu kulib yukan samshins. Kanguni yajin spiritual pulri.
This is a very powerful place, especially for people who is awakening the spirituality. You need to understand and feel the value of this powerful sacred place.
Preguntamos, ¿todos está bien o algunos piensan así?
Is everybody in tune with the ceremony? Is everybody okay? Everybody's fine?
Henan ki apo kuli. Ricky sotin ka mai tiempo anses ay na pach pa karerka.
We are here in this mountain that many ancestors, who knows how many hundreds of years they were honoring and they were celebrating.
Dinat ki misa kasya. Kip ko ng kasya niya misa. May mandat si misa mo ki apukulos. Na ya ki misa ka kuyak kasi kip. Ki chaupot po niya. Paya guardián de anak pach ki misa. Junto con apukulos. Junto de los montañas más poderosos de las montañas.
Those who have their mesas and the shamanic tools, these shamanic tools have to have the energy of this Apu Koli, of this mountain Koli. They have to have the strength, the wisdom, the power of this mountain. It's possible for them to receive and be with this energy.
My name is Beti. I come from Peru, from Cusco, the center of the world for the Inca civilization. And I'm coming here to Finland with Maestro Don Alejandro Apaza. He is from the nation of Queros, very high in the mountains. It's like 4,600 meters above sea level. We are very happy to be here because we are sharing with people who also has the heart open to understand and feel the sacredness of nature.
You also can call on your personal way.
Kunawa hakumiki kong apukuli hampuy. Ahí está sus hijos, hijas aquí, están meditando, pidiendo con plantas medicinas de árboles. Hampuy. Kampahmiki hatong haywarikuy. Kamiki wawaikinata cuidanki. Gran Europa, Finlandia, gran montaña de europeo, hampuy. Natawa hakumiki apo Monglang, hampuy apo Alpes, hampuy apo Montserrat, apo Taide, España, hampuy, Tenerife, hampuy apo Sototoricos en Francia, kipi wawaikikuna, kunang kampan hayamusunjiko.
Apus, that is the name how we call to the mountains and any sacred place. For us means like biggest lord or biggest woman, like with lots of respect, because there are spirits that are female and male, and they are very, very special, sacred, powerful beings of nature. So to the mountains, especially with mountains, because in Peru we have many Andes, big Andean mountains. There we have a special relationship with them as family members. And because they have many, many years, millions of years here in this Pachamama, in this planet, we know that they are very wise and very powerful, and they have lots of energy. So if we have a good relationship with them and we interact with them, then we can have health, we can be happy, we can be also in a good communication with the universe. So they are like our family members, like our guides, and we have lots of respect of the sacred mountains.
When I first went to Peru in 1975, I went there alone on a dream, and the spirits of Peru had seen me in some way. So it was a few years later that I began to go back, and I've been to Peru maybe 30 times over these decades. The Hopi man who adopted me, and the Hopi had a very unique connection with the Queros, because the Queros knew in advance, their visions taught them or showed them that when the invasion of the Spanish came and the black robed people with that black book that they carried, that would be a big change in Peru. Things would change. So the Keros left and went very high into the altiplano there of the Andes and established their homes, their lives to be separate. And the Hopi had sent people down every few years. It took almost 2 years to make a round trip from Hopi land all the way down to Peru there and then back. But they would get the advice of the priests, the Alta Messiahs. And that would help the Hopi also, because these people, they live by vision. They at those other elevations, the purity of mind, the clarity of mind, they can see the future. And that assisted the Hopi in making the choices that they made. And the native people, they call the 7 generations, they never make a decision just based on right now. How about 7 years from now? How will this affect the people? If we say yes to this or no to this now, it's going to have affect 7 years from now. So that relationship then with the Hopi and the Keros, I had heard about this for years. And then 1 year, my Hopi dad would not travel on an American passport. They weren't for the American government. And I would love to have had him go with me that year, but he wouldn't do it. But he sent this message through me to the Keros. What happened when I told them that Hopi story, that was a legend for them. Because it had been about 200 years since the Hopi sent an emissary down there. And the picture, the joy, they were hugging me because it made that legend a reality in their minds, that relationship. And that's all been renewed here with Don Alejandro.
Mamay Santa Tira, Pachamama, Mama Tira, Mama Pocha, Pacha, Ki Pacha, Pacha. Hampuy, hampuy, hampuy.
We are so far away, but at the end we are all the same. We have the same roots, that is in the end Pachamama, so that is very inspiring also for us, because we know that there are people in the world that also have the same joy to be with nature, the same inspiration to find a new way of living. We need to integrate in order to create a better life for the children and the new generations, and we think it's possible. It's just a matter of appreciation of the gifts that every culture has, and also to work together, no? To take the hand by hand and open the hearts and just trust and do the work, no? And then everything will improve for sure.
Vuoren henki, auta meitä muistamaan, on siunattu pyhä maa.